this is what it's going to look like, guys. 2 webinars per day for 7 days a week for the next 25 days. All right, John said it yesterday, that's over 50 webinars. And you guys, hopefully you guys take something from this. So I want you guys to take copious notes. Yes, it's being recorded, but I'm a firm believer that it pays to pay attention. And if you show up on a live event, you will absorb so much more. You know, throughout the years for me, I've always, you know, just learned how to, you know, less is more. Right? When I used to sell cars at the car dealership, I didn't talk about interest rates. I didn't talk about, you know, what your car payment looked like. I don't talk about, you know, whatever else that surrounded the vehicle purchases. I started gauging a relationship, and I just let them test drive the vehicle. And before you know it, they were buying the car left and right. And I would connect them to my sales manager. So less is more, guys, and building relationships is so important. But if you can master the invitation piece of this, that is more than 80% of your business right there alone. If you can be a master inviter, you will see incredible results. So guys, what we want to do is we're going to take you through this, and me and John are going to go back and forth. We're going to have a good time. There's going to be some role playing. And at the end of this, guys, by the end of the month, there's no reason why we can't have over 500 people on our overviews. Okay, so write this down. Every Saturday, we're going to have a training just like this. But then every day after that, we're going to be doing 2 webinars per day. So the next one after this is going to be at 5 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Mountain, and that is going to be 8 p.m. Eastern. So you guys have the whole day to invite people to the next overview, first day of the 25-day sprint. This evening, okay? So we want you to make sure that you take as much information as possible from this training and then apply it. And guys, we hear it all the time, right? Knowledge is power. I have to disagree with that. Knowledge is potential power. You can read all the books, you can go to all the seminars, you can listen to all the audios, you can be inspired by so many people, but at the end of the day, if you do not apply what you've learned, and what does it all mean? What is that doing for your business if you don't actually apply it? If I want to be a bodybuilder and I go to the gym and I keep, and I'm sorry, if I go to the webinars, if I'm watching trainings, if I see Arnold Schwarzenegger doing it, but if I don't go to the gym, what does it even mean? Right? How am I going to be a bodybuilder if I don't even show up to the gym? So guys, show up so you can blow up. Right? Watch your business blow up if you show up. And from there, guys, we just want to have fun with this. Okay, nothing formal, but we want to make sure that you have a big takeaway. So before we get started, John, if you want to unmute yourself, just go ahead and add a little bit more to that if you like.
Yep, can you hear me all right?
Loud and clear.
I was already muted. I was just being really quiet. That's being polite. So, no, this is going to be a lot of fun. And Rudy's right. 80% of your business is in the invite. Because Rudy and I were talking yesterday for quite a while, and we talk almost every day now, it seems like. And one thing we came to the conclusion on is sometimes people feel overwhelmed. They feel like they have to know everything, they have to do everything, and we all have different schedules. We all have different demands on us. We all have different skill sets. We have different backgrounds. Some of us are natural salespeople, some of us are not. And so how do we simplify this? We want to simplify everything. And so how do we do that? We train on the basics, and you've heard Dave Dove say it a few times, and I could not agree with him more. The people that make the most money in this industry do the simple activities at a high level. They're really good at the simple things. And I love that because there's so much truth in that. We have closers. We have presenters. We have all of these things lined up already. And even on this slide, we have a typo. I just saw as well. See, we're not even perfect. We throw these things together really quickly. But what's nice about what we have, too, we have a team. So we have systems that are duplicatable as long as people plug into these systems. So I'm going to go ahead and start on this first slide, and we'll go back and forth, and I want to ask Rudy questions, and then we're going to role play when we get to later slides as well. So one of the main things, and I see it all the time, set goals. How many prospects do you want to attend? Like, for example, how many prospects do you want you want on the call tonight? How many do you want on the calls tomorrow and the next day and the next day? How many prospects? We all need 3. Then eventually we all need 10, and we'll talk about founder here in a moment. But set the goals and always invite more than you think will come. So I like to use the 3-to-1 rule. I want to invite at least 3 times as many prospects as I believe. Where do I get those prospects? I get them all sorts of different places. I can get them online. I can get them from just people I've spoken with in the past, friends, family. Also, the prospects can come from all sorts of different places, and we have trainings on those. When we talk about being plugged in, we have something called it's just called Revolutionaries Full Training or Full Training. You go to our files section in either of our 2 groups, and right there it says Full Training, and you upload or download that PDF. And in that PDF, you have links to everything, including an hour-long, very similar to this training. And you will receive training on social media. You'll receive training on all sorts of different things, all in one PDF. So it's simplified for you, but how many of us even know about it? How many of us who know about it have used it? And how many people are applying what we've learned from that PDF? There's a lot of knowledge in that PDF. There's decades of sales experience all put into that PDF to train everybody. So set goals. How many people you want on that? And then do everything you can do to achieve that goal. Writing the goal down is step 1. It's now what are we going to do to achieve that goal? What's our plan? How am I going to find those prospects? What am I going to see to those prospects? Things of that sort.
Well, I want to speak on that, John. You made a good point. When you're writing down your goals, it reminds me of when rNetwork wasn't even, it was just a twinkle in everybody's eye, right? But it wasn't even, a real website yet. There was not even a website. I remember when we saw Facebook Lives about rNetwork, but we really never got to actually build the business yet. And I remember I just went to work. I got a piece of paper and I started writing down everyone's names that I could think of, right? And I started envisioning who my business partners were going to be before it even happened. So the whole point of what John is trying to say, guys, is if you write it down, you can make it manifest through the thoughts that you're processing. And it's true, because if you're just thinking about it, John, I don't know about you, but we have a million thoughts running through our mind all day long. So how can you hone in on your target if you can't really see it, right? Just like they say, right? Whatever you can see and believe, you can achieve. So that's it. Right back to you, John.
Awesome. No, I appreciate that. And then the next step is have a specific place where you are inviting them to. A call, home meeting, corporate event. Now, right now, the home meeting, obviously with what's going on, that's not an option right now. But corporate event, for example, this Thursday, we have a huge corporate event with a very special speaker. I'm not allowed to say who it is, but I can say he's one of the powers to be. And so we've got a huge speaker at this. If it's not in your area within 48 hours, right now it's being listed and advertised to everybody on the East Coast, but 48 hours before the event, it'll be opened up to everybody. So you will have that information for Thursday night's corporate event. I would highly recommend getting prospects on that. Have the time available on your calendar and know when you want to book it in advance. Avoid last minute. What do I mean by that? Well, instead of inviting somebody 10 minutes before an event, an hour before an event. Now, tonight is still not ideal for notice, but let's do what we can do. But it's nice to always have time available. That goes back to setting goals. All of this stuff ties together. Just give yourself time to have a plan. What am I going to do? What am I going to say? How am I going to approach this individual? Things of that sort. Be in a hurry when you get on a call. Be quick, brief, and to the point. Less is more. And what I mean by that is you don't want to throw up on them. Don't tell them everything. The moment your prospect believes he or she has figured it out in their mind, they will readily make a decision. They'll quickly make it. And then a lot of times it's the wrong decision because what they think they know is not always accurate. It's not always a full truth. It's not the full story. So they're going to, if you give them too much information too fast, they will think that they have all of the information, all of the correct information, and they'll make a predetermined decision without, really seeing the whole thing. And so it's always best to say, look, this is how I was introduced to it. This is why I like it. The reason I'm inviting you to wherever it may be is because I was able to have all of my questions answered. All the stuff I thought I knew, I didn't know until I actually showed up and I listened and I took notes and things. And always let them know, anything we do, think back, our network, has it ever been in your face? Meaning, how many conversations or phone calls have you been on, or meetings have you been to where they've pressured you to sign up as presenters? I don't pressure. Rudy doesn't pressure. A lot of the people doing it, we don't pressure anybody. We give them the information. You can let them know, hey, this is a very non-pressure. This is where you're going to learn everything that I'm trying to explain to you. I would love to have you on this call. That kind of stuff. Expect a yes or a no answer. Maybe is a slow no. Never go with a maybe, because maybe is not a really commitment. Okay, and on the next page here, this goes right into this one right here. Oh, go ahead, Rudy.
Yeah, go back to the first page.
Yep.
I want to talk about setting goals, guys. There's something called DMO. If you guys haven't heard of DMO, it's your daily method of operations, right? So after you write down your goals, you have to make sure that you're consistent with those goals. And remember, consistency will help you get what you want. Persistency will help you get what you want, but consistency will help you keep it. And what do we mean by that? The persistence, right? Being able to, hey, if you get a no, that's okay. Why don't you ask them, hey, who do you know that loves to, save money and get paid and help others do the same? Who do you know? It doesn't hurt asking. You already got the no, so why not try to taproot into their network? Because it's all about interlacing each other's networks. Remember, John talks about 6 degrees of separation. Just because your friend or your family member or someone else in your circle is closed-minded, that's okay. Say, you know what? It's all about timing in people's lives. I'm not emotionally attached to the decisions that you make. I'm just here to see who do you know that would love to save money and get paid for everybody else doing the same. And so when you can do that, they're naturally, if they care about you and they love you and they want to see you succeed, say, look, you don't have to do business with me. Just go ahead and send a few people that come to mind. And then now you may get, and it's happened to me personally, I've gotten no's, but guess what? I got people that did business behind them. And here's the magic, and John knows about this. When people tell you no and you use their network, naturally those people are going to go say, what were you thinking? How come you didn't do this business? Do you know what this is? And that just goes back to what John was just talking about. You don't know what you don't know. So again, it's okay to get no's. I love no's because you can taproot into their network, and 9 times out of 10, that person that you originally prospected is going to end up on the team anyways. So go ahead, John.
Yep, perfect. No, very well stated. And I mean, there's a lot behind the invite and things of that sort. And the next thing I want to talk about is having excitement in your voice. But here's one of the biggest mistakes I see, and I see it over and over and over again, where people get so excited that they make the opportunity sound unbelievable, where it's just too good to be true. And they get so overly worked up. And I get it. I totally understand. I've been in sales for a long, long time, and so I've seen this. And especially newer people, they just they let their emotions take over. Always have confidence in your voice, and let's talk about that a little bit. To have more confidence in your voice, you really need to know the programming inside and out. Because the more you know the program, the more confident you're going to be when you approach somebody with that program. Because I can promise you this, you will receive 2 to 3 questions from every single person you approach, or at least 99.9% of them. If you're not ready to answer 2 to 3 questions, you may not get them to your event. The only way you're going to know, it's kind of like when you take a test and you're thinking, and you ask your teacher, you're sitting there in school and you're saying, hey, what's going to be on the test? What's going to be on the test? They don't tell you everything that's going to be on the test because they want you to study all of your notes. So you have to study everything, even though you study 100% of your notes, maybe 30% of it is on the test. But you've got to study all of it. But how confident are you when you go into the classroom to take the test if you have studied everything versus how confident are you if you've only taken a few cliff notes here and there? If you just kind of plug in every once in a while. You've got to be fully plugged in so that when you you're confident, and people will know when they're talking to you. They'll know if you know what you're talking about or not, and they'll see your confidence. You can't fake it.
Yeah, let me talk about that a little bit. We just had a conversation about this yesterday. That part is so crucial. Your confidence, your posture, the way you present yourself. There's a saying that you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And, people message me, people call me, people text me, and they say, hey, how did you get into that chamber of commerce? How did you get into the city hall? How did you get into these big places? Well, I'll tell you right now, it's not because I got lucky. It takes time, and you got to master your craft. What do I mean by that? You got to consistently show up. You have to consistently train yourself. There's a reason why professional athletes continue showing up to practice, because we're meant to evolve and grow and learn so much more. And I can tell you right now, I must have heard over 100 webinars from John, Dave, John Stahl, Eddie Terranova, and I'm a presenter. I do the presentations, but why do I listen to it over and over and over? Because when it's game time, when it's ready to go in and start talking to these individuals, I got to know what I'm talking about. And, you can't just go into a chamber and say, okay, hey, I'm here. We shop online. We get paid. And when other people shop, you get paid too. And, you got to be enthusiastic. You got to be passionate. And you got to be on your toes. You got to get ready to ask questions. And I saw, Linda, your question, and that's a really good question. Some of the most common questions that I've experienced so far, just going to multiple chamber events, is, how does this work? It sounds like one of those pyramids. That's one. Another one is, well, how does it work? That's really another key question that they will ask you, because you can do your 30-second pitch, right? Where a financial revolution is creating a movement and shifting the power and profit from big business and banks to the individual, and then creating exclusive savings and driving that greater income to all those who wish to participate. You say whatever you need to say, but they're always going to say, wow, that sounds great. How does it work? What are you going to say next? And that's game time. That's right there. You got one shot, just like Eminem, right? The song, One Shot. You got one shot. And again, whatever comes out, that's the impression. Not only do they have of you, but what they have of the company. So if you're going to be the face of the company, if you're going to go out there, whether it's messaging people on Facebook, going on a Facebook Live, doing a webinar, when this coronavirus passes, when you start going to networking events, go out there with confidence and know what you're talking about. Use this time right here, right now, to go back to John's YouTube trainings. Go back to his recordings. Go to Revvolutionaries on YouTube. He didn't create that so you can say, hey, this is John Johnson, I'm here, right? Everybody look at me. That's not what this is. This is so everybody can see that we're dedicated, we're committed, and we want to learn. And you can use all that as tape. Go back as tape, just like Kobe Bryant. I'll use Kobe Bryant as an example. I was so inspired by Kobe because of his mentality, but not only that, he took the game to another level. While every professional athlete was out there partying and doing whatever they do on their free time, Kobe was studying tapes. He was learning what the game was about. So then when it was real game time, he knew how to apply that skill and knew how to maneuver and know what his next move was. In this business, guys, use those replays and try to absorb as much as you can, take notes, and at the end of the day, when it's ready, when coach puts you in for game time, you already know what to say and you're ready, right? So always just be ready, guys, prepare. I know Les Brown said, what did he say? He said, I'd rather be prepared without an opportunity I'd rather be prepared without an opportunity than have an opportunity and not be prepared. So guys, this is your time to really start practicing and get ready for the real game. So go ahead, John.
Yeah, no, I love that point, because this is your second business, which means it's also a job. If you go to your job unprepared, you're going to get fired. And so, in fact, I was speaking with a really big leader here about 2 weeks ago. He said the same thing. He said, man, 80% of the people in network marketing, if this was their real job, they'd get fired. because they're not putting into it what they really could be putting into it. Part of what he was talking about is you got to learn it. You got to know the updates. You got to know that like excuse me, like Ed Turnover tells you all the time, tells us, stay plugged in. The top leaders in this industry do the small things at a high level because they stay plugged in. They're constantly getting better every day, every day. Even my own presentations, I felt like I got a little better, a little better, a little better. Yeah, you go from here to here. Not everybody's going to start all the way at the top on day one. It's a progression, and it's okay to go through. Part of the progression is actually fun going through that progression because you can see your confidence rise. So going back to the confident, not overkill. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in the history of days. That kind of stuff. You don't need to make comments like that. And we're going to go through actual comments that you can make, questions that you can present, ways you can bring this up on another slide, and we'll do some role playing as well. Another thing is, this is a very important key, and I don't think most people think about this. Get your prospect to admit that he or she is good at keeping appointments and commitments. So if I go and I say, tonight, 6 o'clock, okay, I can count on you, right? Yes. Are you sure? Now, this is something you want to learn this. I've lined this up for you to be there, everything. I've let the presenter know you're going to be there. Can I count on you? You've made this commitment. Can I count on you to make sure you follow through with this? Restate and ask them and put it back on them. You've got to get their total buy-in. Anytime you can get somebody's buy-in, then you're going to have more people show up at whatever it may be. So it's okay to confirm, to reinstate, to get that commitment 1 or 2 times. This is something, and have them give you a solid yes. If it's an event that you're going to, offer to pick them up. Ask them to bring something. It really used to say, have them bring ice. It always works. Yes, it does. If they're taking something with them, taking it to your event, well, guess what? They feel obligated. Well, I've got to go because they're counting on me to take this or have that or whatever. So it's a good idea to have them bring something with them. Have them take that to your event. That's always an offer to pick them up is a big thing because say like I am now committed to you. I am picking you up. I will see you at 5:30 or whatever it may be. Be ready. It starts at 6. I'll see you at 5:30. I'm coming to get you. And that's going to give it a little more credibility as well. Say, oh my gosh, now he's offering to pick me up. I can't let him down. I can't let her down. Whatever it may be. There's a lot of little things. But if you've, excuse me, just coughing today. No, I'm not sick. Don't worry. But anyway, there's a lot of little things that if you forget, they add up and become big things. And that's why I say the pros do the little things very well. That's why in these trainings we show you all these little tiny things because they all add up. They add up, and then all of a sudden it's a big thing. I am showing you how I saved money. Come check it out for yourself. I will pick you up at 5:30. So now we just we put a couple things together right there. I'm telling you, what is this about? This is about saving money. So these are types of questions you can ask. Come see how you can share revenue with what I believe may just become the next big one, like an Amazon. Don't go into everything. Well, what do you mean like Amazon? Well, make it simple. Well, let's put it this way. You shop on Amazon, or do you know anybody that shops on Amazon? Of course I do. Would it be nice if you got paid to shop on Amazon? Would it be nice if every time you referred somebody to Amazon, they also got paid? Yeah, that would be really cool. All right, great. Come tonight. Let me show you how we're putting that together right now. That's it. That you want to keep it simple, but you want them to say yes once or twice. That's why I would, again, going back, remember what I said. Do you ever shop on Amazon? Yes, that's 1 yes. Do you know of anybody else who shops on Amazon? Yes, that's 2 yeses. Would it be nice if they paid you to shop on Amazon? Yes, that's 3 yeses. Would it be nice if anytime you refer somebody to pay on Amazon that they paid you? Yes, that's 4 yeses you just got from your prospect. Then you say, great. Now you've got to come see this because we're on the same page here. It would be nice. It'd be wonderful. That's what we're doing. Maybe on a smaller scale for now, but this company's getting bigger and bigger. You got to come see this. Well, tell me more. I really can't right now because I don't want to do it any disservice. How do you think I learned about this? I went to an event. I took the notes. Go take the notes, and if it's something you love, which I think it may be, then maybe let's do business together. If it's not what you want, that's fine. It's an hour of your time. No big deal. But you're telling me yes, 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 yes. Let's go check this out. Pick you up at 5:30. Hey, go ahead. Yes.
I want to talk about that, John, because I think I shared my story with you about picking people up.
Yes, you did.
Guys, it's so much fun. You got to have fun with this business. You have to. And you know what? John is keeping it super simple, and you guys can too. I mean, just who do you know that shops, and who do you know that wants to get paid for helping other people do the same thing, right? And it reminds me of an event that I went to about, I'd say 3 or 4 years ago. It's here in Pasadena, California. And I remember the owner of the company, he had sent it out to everyone and said, whoever brings the most people to the event will win a watch, right? So the person that brings the most guests to the event, these are the watches that you can win, right? Didn't even say anything about the business. He just gave you an incentive to win a prize. Okay, an incentive is a really good way to help motivate people. So I remember the day like it was just yesterday. As soon as I saw the 3 watches, I was like, okay, I'm getting that watch. That watch is mine. And it's, $1,500 watch. So, for bringing people to an event and a $1,500 watch, I mean, shoot, let me go get a caravan, right, and bring everybody there. But the whole point of it was I just called everybody. I called and called and called, and I said, hey, real quick, I need you to come to this webinar. What are you doing next Saturday that you can't get out of? That was it. I didn't say anything about the business. I said, what are you doing next Saturday that you can't get out of? And I was just calling everybody. What are you doing next Saturday that you can't get out of? What are you doing next Saturday? Right? Of course, a little conversation, a little small conversation. Hey, how you doing? How's the family? But what are you doing next Saturday that you can't get out of? Because I created this sense of urgency. And just like John said, I said, don't worry. I'm going to come and pick you up. So I got creative. I got my mom's car. I got my dad's car. And then I had my own car. And I had 3 friends in the business drive those other 2 cars and then myself. And we packed the cars, guys. I had 17 guests at one event. And, with that said, they obviously gave me the recognition of a $1,500 watch. I still have it here. And that just goes to show, guys, that all you have to do is just invite people onto a webinar. And if you ask them that simple question, hey, what are you doing tonight, right? As in right now, what are you doing tonight that you can't get out of at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m.? And let them answer it, because their mind is going to spin, right? Because you can't pick anybody up right now without live events. But they're going to think, oh, wait, what am I doing at 6? Netflix, I don't know, vacuuming the house again for the second time of the day, because we're all in a quarantine. We're all locked in. I mean, there's not much you can do. People aren't saying I'm busy. I'm going to a birthday party. I'm going to a wedding. I can't go to the beach. I'm not going to Chuck E. Cheese. That's not happening right now. So what are you doing at 6 p.m. that you can't get out of? And then just invite them. Say, great. Go ahead and just check out the text message I'm about to send you. And then just let me know. Give me your opinion at the end of that event. I would love to get your opinion, because I truly love and care about you. If it's somebody that you look up to, invite them. I have mentors and I have people that I've looked up to over the years. And I say, you know what? I truly value your opinion. I'm admired and in awe of your success over the years. And I think this is something that I would love for you to take a look at and then give me your honest opinion. What are you doing at 6 p.m. that you can't get out of? Nothing. Send me the link. Send me the information. And then that's it, guys. So less is more. Just like cell phones, when you don't ask how neutrons and protons and how your phone gets charged. You don't ask all those intricate questions. All you know is you plug the phone in, and about a couple hours later, your phone has a full charge. Same thing, guys. Just let people go through their own journey of learning how the business works by just inviting them and letting me, John, Eddie T, John Stahl, somebody else doing the presentation for you. That's called the third party, being a master connector.
Exactly. And this is one of my favorite ones right here. This is what I call the reinstate. This is where you remember conversations you've had with people in the past. there are a lot of places to get your 3 and get your 10. A lot of places. You just have to be creative and think about it and think back. Any conversations you've ever had with anyone before that you've ever wanted to go into business together or do something together or work online together, whatever it may be, you have told me before that you would like to start an online business. Come see how I did it. Not come see how I'm doing it. Come see how I did it for just $50 a month. Remember the obstacles last time we talked about this? It was going to cost us a couple $1,000s a month. We were going to have to do this and do that. Remember all those obstacles that we had? Yeah, we had to line up this merchant and drop ship here and drop. I figured out how to do all of it for $50 a month, and I don't have to line any of it up. Come check this out. There's a very strong invite. And then you're reminding them of a conversation that you've had. This is something they've had interest in the past. Let's spin that a little bit. Remember that juice company we talked about? Oh gosh, I don't know, it's been a year ago, and we were both really excited, and then we went out there and we kind of fell on our face. So, oh my gosh, yeah, remember that? You're now touching their pain. They're relating to you. Remember that? And we swore we would never do anything like that again. That's not what I'm asking you to do. I said, but we did tell each other if we did find something that worked for one of us, we would introduce it to the other one. I found something that works for me, and guess what? It's not that juice. Well, what is it? Well, then you go into, well, do you ever shop on Amazon? Go back to the first one, right? You can sit there and mix and match and play with it and have fun with it. But go back. Do you ever shop on Amazon? Yes. And then that whole, go get their 3, 4 yeses, invite them to your event. You can see it's not that juice company. We're not selling something that's overpriced. We're not doing that again. We told ourselves we wouldn't do that again. Come check this out. See how this is different. Because you know on our presentations, we always talk about that, how this is different, how this is unique. They'll hear it from the third party if you properly invite them to that. We talked about having a business before. I finally found something that makes sense. Come check it out with me and see it for yourself. Pick you up at 5:30 if it's an event. Or I will call you 15 minutes before the call starts to make sure you can get on okay. Because the next excuse is what? Well, I couldn't log in. The link didn't work. No, the link does work. Okay, they were either on the wrong link or they're just making it up. Something happened there. I will call you 15 minutes before. Can I count on you? Going back, how good are you at keeping your commitments? Can I count on you? I will call you 15 minutes before. I will help you get onto the event. And we'll just talk for 10, 15 minutes or whatever. We'll chill out until it starts. And then you can hear everything. Bring a pen and paper and be ready to take some notes. That kind of stuff.
That's it. And why are we doing this? Why are me and John committed to you guys to be able to put in 2 webinars a day for the next 7 days a week for the next 25 days? What's the incentive? John, the incentive, and everybody else in this webinar, the incentive is to become a founder. That is your incentive. There's never going to be another opportunity like this. The deadline, they've made it very clear, April 30th. And me and John have asked, and we've already clarified, there's not going to be an extension. That's it. So let's get to work. We're committed to you. So now make a commitment to yourself and have your guests make a commitment to show up and just watch everything just spiral, out of control in a really good way. Because there's no reason why we can't have close to 500 people on these webinars by the end of this month. But again, you have to stay consistent. You got to start writing down your list. You got to keep inviting people. And guess what? It's okay if they don't show up. You know why? Because I got another one later on today. If you missed the 10 a.m., I totally get it. You missed it. There's another one at 6. What are you doing? Right? There's a method to the madness. We want to make sure that you guys have every opportunity to invite your prospects on this webinar, because you can only have so many excuses. But with excuses, you're not going to be able to create results. So work with the willing, work with the people that want more, and how bad do you want it? Me and John are going to be able to tell who wants it, because we're going to see who's on these webinars. Again, remember what I said. I've always showed up on these overviews because I've always wanted to just absorb what was being said. Because it's not about watching these webinars, guys. It's about being ready. So when people ask you questions and your upline may be busy, or I might be busy, John may be busy, and you can't get a hold of us, you have to be ready to answer those questions. And if you don't, will then say, okay, you know what? I don't know the answer to that, but I'm going to get right back to you. But how much more sweeter, how much more better would it be if you actually knew what you were talking about? When they ask those questions, how awesome would it be to say, wow, Rudy really knows his stuff. Linda really knows her stuff. Mike Sheldon really knows his stuff. That's the kind of person I want to work with. Be the leader that you would want in somebody else. So go ahead, John.
Oh, awesome. No, great. And so also edification. Edification is a big one. So now let's go back to the first slide. Edify, but don't oversell. Rudy is the greatest presenter in the history of the planet Earth. Well, he may be, but you don't say that. You say you edify 2 to 3 facts about the person, the system, the whatever it may be. The training system, oh my goodness. I just told you, $50 a month. We're able to open up our own, basically have our own virtual e-commerce for $50 in this training system. My gosh, they teach you how to build your business. They teach you how to, sell, to present, to do all these different things. It's amazing. That's part of that $50. You got to come check out this training system. These speakers, man, they've been around a long time. They know their stuff. They're going to be able to answer your questions. These guys have had success in online and offline and all sorts of different things. They're really cool, great speakers. You don't need to go blow it out of the sky for each one, because again, if you make it sound too unbelievable, they're just rolling their eyes. Right? So 2 to 3 things for whatever it is you are edifying, your upline, the team itself. This team, what an incredible team, the training, this whatever it may be. Okay, but just keep it short, simple, concise. And again, the more you know about the program, the more confident it's going to come out. Stay away from these super glamour words. It's very important. The most phenomenal, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. This will be the biggest bank in history, biggest company in history. Even if you believe that, don't say it, because they won't believe that. You got to remember, this is one thing I call it the disconnect. That's what I phrased it. I don't know what the real name is, but I call it the disconnect. Great disconnect. This is what I mean by it. I've been in this business since May 9th of last year. I know a lot about r-Network. I know more than most about r-Network because I've been very plugged in and the position I'm in r-Network. And so I have direct access to whatever, owners and whatever. But I know what to say, when to say it, what not to say. And if I'm talking to a brand new prospect, just trying to get him or her on a call, and I'm saying this is the greatest thing in the world ever, ever, ever. Well, to me, it might be. But to them, they're just now hearing about it. So they're not going to have that same enthusiasm. They don't have the same belief system in it because they don't know enough about it. They're ignorant to it. Not in a bad way. I'm just saying they just don't know anything about it. So I'm not going to oversell it because that's what everybody else does. We're unique. We are different. We are a participation marketplace. We have a lot to offer, but do it in a professional manner, do it in a concise manner, and don't use the glamour words and don't oversell it, because even though you're so flippin' excited, that's great, but again, everything in sales 101, perceived value. What is their perception of the message that you are giving to them? Put yourself in the shoes of the person receiving that message. If you get good at that, your skills will just get better and better and better. Always put yourself in their shoes. When somebody presented an opportunity to you, what were the turnoffs and what were the green lights? What did you like? What did you not like about when they came and presented an opportunity to you? What turned you off? What made you become defensive? Don't make the same mistake when you present it to somebody else, because then he or she will become defensive. Get on the same page as your prospect, common ground. Let me tell you an excellent one. An excellent one. How long have we known each other? I don't know. It's been 5-10 years. Okay, great. We've had discussions back and forth. Remember the last time we talked about a business? Yeah. Remember what it is we were going to do? Wasn't it kind of silly? We both kind of, oh my gosh, we thought we were so excited about it. And we're just like, oh my gosh, it didn't work. And now we can joke about it, right? Yep. Okay, what are you getting at, John? Are you presenting another business to me? I said, yes, but Hear me out. I finally found something that actually works. I finally found something that I am saving money and making money like quickly. And I'm not paying hundreds of dollars a month to do it. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, I'm not storing that. Do you remember last time we stored that pill and we bought this, we bought that? Go back and talk about this stuff. Get on the common ground. Get on common ground, because now you're speaking the same language. So remember all that? Okay, yeah, well, this time I found something online where I can offer thousands of products and I don't have to pay all this crazy shipping fees and all this stuff. I don't have to worry about eBay. I don't have to worry about that. All that stuff, that was complicated. This is a lot simpler. I found a system that they simplified it for the average person. I'd love to share this system with you, but you got to come to this event. The only way I'm going to share this with you, you got to make a commitment to me. I will make a commitment to you. I will be there. I will listen with you. I will pick you up. I will call you before the item, whatever it may be. I will make that commitment to you, but you got to commit to me that you're going to listen to this, because honestly, I do think you want to hear this. I do think this is something you would be. I've known you for a long time, and I really think you may be interested in this. You will be interested. I think that you may be, words matter, you may be interested in this. I've known you for a while. I think this is something that may just pique your interest. It's okay to say stuff like that, right? But you don't want to, again, and they'll say, well, what is it? What is it? Well, you'll find out tonight at 6. Won't you? I do that all the time. What is it? You'll find out tonight at 6. Call you at 5:45. Don't give them anymore. Don't say the name of the company. Don't give them anything like that. Don't let them go to Google and get a third-party naysayer trying to influence their decision whether they're going to show up or not. That is a proper way to invite and pull back a little bit. What is it? You'll find out tonight at 6, won't you? Oh, come on, John. You're going to do this to me? Yes, I am. Because if I try to explain it all to you, I'm going to do it a disservice, a disjustice. You'll find out tonight. Can I count on you? Great. That is more of an example of an invite. There's a lot of ways to do this. And what I would recommend doing is, if you need to get better at inviting, watch this call 10 times, 20 times if you have to. Go back and forth. Notice how what we're doing when we're talking about these different things, we're putting these different examples out there. And I'm jumping from one example to another. I've done this a long time, but I'm using, I'm trying to teach you what I'm doing versus go back to Amazon, go back to that. I'm jumping, because all these, there's not one line or 2 lines that's going to sell everybody. There's just not. Everybody's like, well, what's the script? What do I use? What do I say? Well, you say different things to different people because everybody's different. They think differently, and you got to get on the same page. The more you can empathize with your prospect, the more you can feel their pain with them, the more you can relate to them, the more effective you're going to become when it comes down to he or she showing up. You will be more effective because you're connecting. Hopefully that makes sense. This is a relationship business. You've got to connect with your prospect. If you do not connect with your prospect, 9 times out of 10, they're not showing up. The one time they do show up, because you just got a golden prospect. Congratulations, because golden prospects don't grow on trees, right? You've got to connect with them. Press the invite a little bit to give it more value. That's what I'm doing. Tell me a little bit more. Hey, I've given you this invitation. This is working for me, man. This is working for me, and I'm paying very little to do it. I'm saving money. I'm earning money when people save, just like that Amazon. I would love to give you a little bit more, but you know what? You got to come see it for yourself. It is now on you to come see this, because I am thrilled to death about it. I'm not going to say it's the greatest thing in the history of the world. There may be something better. Who knows? I don't know. But for me, it works. And I believe it can work for you, but you got to make that commitment. Come show up. You ask me how I'm saving money. Go back. Restate. I'm saying you ask me, because I'm telling, maybe I talk to a prospect 3 times before I invite him or her to a meeting. I say, you know what? I keep saving money. I keep saving money. They ask you how you saved money a couple days ago. Then you restate. Now what are you doing? You've got their buy-in. You, prospect, you asked me how I am saving money and making money. Here's your chance to find out at a larger scale. Come tonight at 6. Call you at 5:45. Make sure you can get on, because now you're putting it back on them. You ask me how I'm doing it, I'm telling you, this is how I'm doing it, right? Get their buy-in, that kind of stuff. That's a lot more effective than, hey, gee, what are you doing tonight at 6? And I got something I want to show you. You get that connection, get that buy-in, get 2 or 3 yeses with those questions I asked about Amazon or stuff like that. Would it be exciting if you found a way to find money, save more money online right now? Wouldn't that be cool if we can save more money shopping? Of course it would be cool. Yes, John, I like that. And you don't have to use Amazon. You can use any example. You say, you know what, would it be cool if I could show you how to save and I earn because you're saving money? Yeah, I guess that would be pretty cool. Okay, there's 2 yeses, right? 2 yes. The more yeses you get, we used to tell sales guys all the time, when you're doing a presentation, I used to sit in front of CEOs, CFOs, and I mean, I started from the receptionist in hospitals. We had to work our way all up to the CFO level. Well, that means you have to get through this manager, this man. I had to sell probably sometimes 5, 10 people just to get to the one person I needed to get to. Sometimes it would take me 10 months to close one deal. Sometimes it would take a couple of weeks. It depended on the deal. But one thing that was always constant, as soon as they start shaking their head up and down and making that yes, they're saying yes a little bit, close them. I don't have to present anymore. As soon as that head starts bobbing up and down and they're saying yes, close them. Same thing with the invitation. As soon as you see that head bopping up and down, boom, get the invitation, make them commit to it. You're good at sticking with these, aren't you? Yes. Okay, great. You tell me 6, that means you will be here what time? It's 5:45, right? Or whatever it is. I'm going to help you get on the call. All that kind of stuff matters. Know when to stop talking is a big part of it. They're bobbing their head, yes, stop. Close them. Get them on that call. Get them at that event, or whatever it may be. So lots of ways to do it. Yeah, go ahead.
Don't sell past the close.
Yep.
Yeah. Hello, John. How are you?
Guys, stay muted. Stay muted. Thank you. All right, go ahead, John.
Oh, yeah. So we can take questions after the call. But so anyway, very important to push the invite without shoving it down their throats as well. Like Rudy said, don't close after the close. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen people, they were interested, and then the person's they got them committed, and then they just keep telling them more. They keep telling more, and then all of a sudden, they're no longer committed. They change their mind. You actually talked them out of coming to the event after you had talked them into it. So yeah, learn when to say, all right, they're done. That's it. They call you an hour later. So what's this about again? You'll find out at 6. Can I count on you? Okay. Yes. All right. Don't, I got to do this. I got to do that. No, come on, man. You told me I can count on you. Let's make this happen. So one time, trust me, it's going to be great. That's it. Don't get into it and don't try to talk them into it and resell them again. Okay, fine. And then they'll call you an hour and a half later. Come on, man. You told me 6. Come on. You told me I can count on you. And just make them stick to that commitment.
Yeah,
I don't give them anything else. After I get their commitment, I don't give them any more information about the business. I don't. I make them stick to that commitment that they gave me. And it works really well. Yeah, go ahead.
Done. I mean, guys, right now during this time, there's a lot of things that me and John could be doing, right? There's a lot of other things that you guys could be doing. But let your prospects know that, look, these 2 gentlemen are committed. I don't know what they're doing. All I know is that I'm saving money, and when other people are spending money, I'm getting paid too. You got to come and check this out. You have to. I mean, these guys are out. They're committed. They're jumping on the webinar. You said you were going to be there by 6, so I expect you to be there by 6. I already said a lot of great things about you, because what you're doing is you're setting the tone for the webinar, right? You're setting the tone for their first impression of the business. And all they need to know is some guy is going to be there presenting for you, and you need to show up. Because, again, it's all about having to make a commitment to yourself, but also having the prospect make a commitment as well. And you have to kind of hold their hand through that whole process. I remember when, we were doing webinars, I had to send a text message and I just copy. And that's where, John, 90% of our business is copy and paste. I do pretty much everything that John puts on Facebook. I copy and paste it, put it on my Facebook, and then it just keeps going all the way down and down and down. And that's how we're creating results. So same thing, if you can get someone to commit to the business and show up to a webinar, just copy and paste. Say, hey, we're about to start in 15 minutes. I want to make sure you get a spot early. I want you to get a front row seat to this presentation. Okay, because I want to make sure that you're taken care of and that you have undivided attention. Make sure you have no distractions. So I really want you to absorb all this information. There are people saving money like crazy, and come from a place of love. Come from a place of, look, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just here because I know I see your posts. I get your text messages. I just hear it in your voice. I know you're tired. I know you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I love you, and I want the best for you. Right? But it all comes down to what? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't teach them how to drink. At least lead them to the water, and then at that point, let them absorb, because it's all about timing in people's lives. Right now, more than ever before, you got to get people on these webinars, because who knows if they're going to have a job this week? Who knows in a month from now what everything's going to look like for them financially? I don't know about you, John, but the stimulus check is just a Band-Aid over the wound. What are you doing right now to build a legacy for you and your family? Because guess what? This is not the first market crash, and this won't be the last. So what are you doing right now? What time have you had when you were too busy? You had too many hours. You had too many jobs. You had 2 or 3 jobs at the same time, right? You were too busy with the kids. You were too busy with this and that, and had all these excuses. Right now, this is the time where the world is slowing down, and this is the time to reassess. Start thinking about what's important to you, what's important to your family. Ask yourself, are the decisions you're making right now going to impact your future in a positive way? Because I mean, me and John talked about it yesterday. You can only watch so many Netflix. You can only play so many video games. You can only take so many naps. What are you doing to pass the day? What are you doing to pass the time? So why don't you just show up on this webinar? Because I love you. I care about you. I want the best for you and your family. All I know is that we're saving money, and share a story. Right? We're in lockdown, and me and Victoria last weekend, we were starving. We're like, look, Victoria's tired of cooking, and we have this huge platform in our back office called Our Perks. And we just say, hey, let's just get some Italian food. We found an Italian spot, we called them, got 25% off. So they still honored the discount over the phone. They delivered it to our front doorstep. The guy had gloves, right? Because, of course, there's a virus going on out there. So, the good thing, guys, is that we saved so much money, we were able to be a generous tipper, right? We were able to tip the guy for, delivering our food. Like, how cool is that? That's a story. So if you can just create your own story, my story right now was less than a minute. Say, look, if you want to save some money too, I know you're probably eating out because you're probably tired of cooking, your wife's tired of cooking, or if you know your friends, hey, I know you don't know how to cook, and you're probably spending money on all this fast food. Have you thought about how much money you're spending on fast food right now? And stay quiet. Let them answer that. A lot of the times, guys, when you ask open-ended questions, it gets them thinking. It gets them in the thought process of, okay, wow, yeah, I'm spending $400 a month on fast food. So what if I can help you save money where you're already spending money? Come and check this out. 30 minutes. You're already spending hours and hours on YouTube, spending hours and hours playing video games. Why don't you just come over here and check this out for 30 minutes and then, check it out. Let me know what you think, because, this may or may not be for you, but I know that you need to do something different in order to have different results. And, I'm just coming from a place of love. As a matter of fact, I'm calling this the April of abundance. There is so much to give to people right now. John, there's 6.6 million people that are unemployed. That's 3,000% increase from last week. And it doesn't show any signs of stopping. So that means the market is wide open, guys. Home-based businesses never look better than right now. And this is the time, guys, to really start inviting people and be a master inviter. And like John said, you need to watch this over and over and over. That's fine. But ask open-ended questions. And watch.
And we're going to do something fun on this slide. So thanks for sharing that. And that is essential. I want everybody to think about this. Everything we teach you ties together. What do I mean by that? Everything we teach you ties together. It all relates. It's like a puzzle that you're just putting together. And all of a sudden, I'll tell you a story. When I got into real estate years ago, when I was learning to become an appraiser, I worked and worked and worked. It took me about 6 months. And I remember I went out and I measured this house. I sat down and to type the report in, and it just clicked. All of a sudden, it just all came together because I worked so hard for 6 months to try to figure out, am I doing it the right way? Are my adjustments correct? Am I measuring this properly? Am I doing this? There's so much to do an appraisal people don't understand unless they've done it. Like any other job, until you actually do it, we're all armchair quarterbacks. Oh, that looks easy. That looks simple. Until you do it, you don't know how tough it is. And there was a huge learning curve in that business, a huge learning curve. And so it finally just clicked one day. And why did it click? Because I practiced every aspect of it for 6 months. Then once it clicked, I was able to build a very large business because I was able to teach people what finally clicked inside of my head. If it takes you a week to do it, great. A month, 2 months, 3 months. One of the biggest mistakes I see in every business I've ever been a part of is people quit too soon. They don't allow it to click. They don't have that aha moment because it takes some time it takes more time than others, and it depends what it is. If I was doing something that I had never done before, sales to me, it clicks quickly because I've been doing it a long time. But that's me. But there may be something else that may not click that quickly for me because I haven't been doing it for a long time. And so it's very important to put the time, the effort, the hours, whatever into it until you have that aha moment, because once it clicks, guess what? Your confidence skyrockets. Everything gets better. You are better at inviting. You are better at closing. You're better at all of it. So everything we teach you, from the invite to the updates on the products to learning the system to be plugged in, it all ties together. You don't want to ignore this piece or that piece. We're not asking everybody to be amazing closers, amazing presenters. We're teaching everybody to be amazing inviters. But to do that, stay plugged in with everything else. So before we wrap it up, we're going to have some fun here. We're going to do some role playing. We're going to do the Are You Open? So are you open to earning an extra income? Are you open to learning ways to save more money? Rudy and I have not practiced this at all. This is total cold call. So Rudy, I actually want you to give me a little pushback when we go through this, okay? So it's your job to give me a couple excuses. I don't care. I don't even know what he's going to say. I don't care what he's going to say. So, but we're going to role play a little bit, and we're going to see where this goes, because I think it's important that you guys hear this. So I'm going to start with a simple question. And hopefully Rudy's first answer is like, oh boy, another one of these, or whatever it may be. Who knows? We'll see. So Rudy, here's my question to you. We're going to role play. Are you open? Hey, Rudy. Well, first of all, hey, Rudy, how are you doing?
Dream in quarantine over here playing video games. What have you been up to?
Oh, nothing too much. I found something that's very interesting. But before I get into that, how are the wife and kids? How's the family doing?
Oh man, I think being locked in with your wife and kids is worse than being out there going crazy over here. Just constant things going on, so it's going crazy. How about over there for you?
Oh, kind of same old. So I feel you, man. It's different. It's an adjustment, but we're working through things and things are happening. So anyway, the reason I called, and I'm glad things are going well, just want to ask you a simple question. So now with all the craziness going on, are you open on learning ways how to save a little bit of money? Would you like to learn how to save money here and there?
What the heck are you doing now, John?
What the heck am I doing now? Well, I'm saving money. And let me tell you something. Let me ask you a better question. How long have we known each other?
John, I've known you for too long, man. What are you getting into now? I mean, I can't even keep count.
If you've known me for a week, you've known me for too long. So no, I completely get it. How many times have we talked about doing a business together in the past?
More fingers than I can count.
Or how many have worked for us?
Ooh, I mean, we had some that looked pretty promising, brother, but we're still here, right? We're still here. We're still alive. We're with our families. That's all we can be blessed about. But unfortunately, we didn't make it big yet. And
no, We haven't. And there's been a bunch of reasons why. Remember last time we talked about this? We were so excited about that one business. And then we got there, we realized, oh my gosh, this is going to cost us a small fortune. And, our spouse or whatever, they wouldn't let us put the money in. I mean, we got stuck. We were excited though, weren't we?
Dude, you should see my cabinet. I still got that crap.
Do you?
I
Nice.
still have it, man.
Nice. Well, let me tell you one thing. Just know this. Be very excited. That's not what I'm calling you about, because I feel your pain, man. I go look in my garage. I have the same crap pile up in my garage. So just to let you know, so you can be rest assured, that's not what I'm calling you about. So just want to put your mind at ease a little bit. But check this out.
I know, John. These video games are a lot of fun right now.
I bet they are, but guess what? Guess what's more fun than video games?
Sorry, I'm kicking butt over here.
Are you really? What are you playing?
Oh, Fortnite. Come on now.
Fortnite. Oh, nice. My kids play Fortnite. I've heard of it, never played it. Sounds pretty fun. Well, let's do this then. After this conversation, let's play some Fortnite. How's that?
Let's go. Send me your username. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll do it. You hear me out. I'll play Fortnite with you. How's that?
So you're. Oh, you know what? I'll take you up on that. But hey, here's the deal. If I beat you, I'm not showing up to any of your stupid events.
We'll see. How's that? Because this is something. Here's a question I've got for you. I ask you if you like to save money. Who doesn't like to save? I mean, really, honestly, who doesn't like to save money? I'm not selling you anything. I'll give you a perfect example. I bought a pair of shoes last week at Shoe Carnival. You ever heard of Shoe Carnival?
Never.
Never? Okay. Well, have you ever bought shoes?
Do they have shoes?
They do have shoes. So here's the thing that's cool. I saved 15% and I got paid a commission because I bought shoes. And guess how much money I had to spend below retail?
Really?
How cool was that?
Sounds like an online swap meet. How were the shoes?
The shoes are great. Nice Nike running shoes. They're great, man. But here's the cool thing. I bought the shoes. 9 other people just made money too.
Wait,
and that's exactly what happened, man. I'm telling you. We've had these conversations. And I told you, never again are we going to get into this other program and similar programs like we've done before. You know me.
They're actual Nikes.
They're actually Nike. Yeah, they're not knockoffs. These are Nike shoes. I got them for 15% off, and I get paid a commission because I bought the shoes.
I don't know. That just sounds too good to be true, man. I don't know. What do you? I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how any of that works.
Yep. So hear me out. I got one more question for you. Think about it this way. What if you were to go into Costco and got a discount on the items, but anytime you sent somebody to Costco, you get paid because they got a discount on the item? Would that be interesting for you?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, I know so many people that shop at Costco. My mom, my dad, my sister, probably my neighbors.
Okay, perfect. Well, here's the thing, man. We're not Costco. I'm not saying we're Costco, but we have a very similar model. It's just a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm.
We are able to literally share profits with stores online without all that crazy overhead you and I ran into a year ago. We're talking about this tonight. I'm playing Fortnite with you right after that call. That gives us a few hours. And then tonight after you, whether I win or not, because anyway, if you beat me at Fortnite, I don't want you to lose with this other thing. 6 o'clock, we'll get on a call. I'd love to see you there because I want you to see this because, man, I finally found something that works. It's working for me. And I thought about you because we've been down this road before. I don't want you to miss out on that. And if you have problems getting on the call, I will help you log in at 5:45. You come, you listen. You like it, great. I'll answer all your questions afterwards. If you don't like it, beat me at Fortnite again. Sound like a plan?
I don't know, John. I mean, it just sounds too good to be true. I'm just so comfortable right now playing video games. I'm enjoying time with my family. I don't know if I got time. I don't know. Is it recorded? I mean, just send me the recording. Maybe I'll watch it tonight or tomorrow.
The recording could be good, but I'll tell you right now, I would love to have you on the call, and I'll tell you why. So I'm going to be on the call. I'm going to answer all your questions after the call. I'm going to show you ways. You're going to see ways that other people are making money because I just told you about the shoes. Guess what I didn't tell you about? Last time I came out and saw you in California, guess who saved money on his hotel?
Let me guess, John.
Yep, it was me. Okay, and every time I go to any hotel, guess who saved money? That lunch we went to, guess who saved money on that lunch? It's not just shoes, man. I'm saving money left and right. Dude, this is so much bigger than Fortnite and any video game. I would love to see you there. And I know once you commit to something, I know you'll be there. And I'm telling you, if I didn't invite you with this thing right now, dude, I wouldn't forgive myself because this is working for me. So let's go ahead, check this out. 6 o'clock, takes an hour. You can go right back to Fortnite. There's a pause button. Is there a pause button on that video game system that you've got? Perfect. Well, hit pause for 1 hour, come save, and guess what? Maybe you'll save money on Fortnite or a similar video game later on. Think about it that way. You love video games? Learn how to save money potentially on games and all sorts of things. See you at 6 o'clock. Sound good?
Man, all right, you know what? Just don't tell my wife about this, dude.
She doesn't need to know. You can learn about it. Dude, I'm not asking you for money. No money. I'm not asking for squat. I'm going to show you how to save money, and I'm going to show you how to make money by helping people save money. That's it. If I do anything else, you can kick my butt later. How's that?
Yeah, with the pair of Nikes that you buy. I'm going to put them on my foot.
It works for me. Works for me. So I can see you at 6?
Yes, dude. Just go ahead and send it.
All right, perfect. I'm going to call you at 5:45, man, and I'm going to help you make sure you get on this webinar.
All right, cool. Thanks for the call, man. Tell the wife and kids I said hi.
Will do. Yep. We'll talk later. And hey, I owe you a video game right after this. So, or you can kick my butt at Fortnite, whatever you want to do.
You don't need a pair of Nikes for those.
Exactly. Okay, guys. So now that's something that's simple. Again, but think about kind of what I did there. All the excuses he threw at me, sometimes I make light of it. I restate it a little bit. There's just so many ways to do it. At this point, it's become second nature to someone like myself because I've done it so many flipping times. I want this to become second nature to everybody. And it will become second nature to you. You will have that aha moment once you've done it enough times. You may struggle. You may fall down a couple times. It will happen, and that's okay. That's part of the learning curve. It's part of the growth process. There's nothing wrong with that. One thing people do a lot, they get down on themselves. Because like, I'm never going to be good at this. I suck at this. This isn't me. All of that kind of stuff like that. But I can tell you right now, it's okay. It's part of the prospect. And one question I got on yesterday's call, and we're recording this call. I want to address that question, and then we'll go ahead and end the call. This has been a little over an hour. What about online leads? See, I can go back and restate with Rudy because I've known him for a while. So I can have those types of conversations. But online, it is a little different. Leanne asked me a really good question yesterday. And so I remember she's like, well, how about these people that you come online and their first question is usually send me information. I want more interest. I'm interested, send me information. You send them the information, then you never hear from them again. Okay, it's happened to me. It's happened to all of us. What you need to do when somebody reaches out to you online, it's a different dynamic. You need to start a conversation. You've got to start a conversation. It's that simple. And what do I mean by that? Well, keep it going. Going back to the example I used yesterday when I worked in the phone center for 2.5 years. We used to have contests. How long can you keep this person on the phone? If you can keep this person on the phone for at least 2 minutes, you're going to get the close. They're going to buy something, or they're going to commit to whatever it is, the meeting or whatever it is you're trying to accomplish on that call. They're all different. I saw all sorts of different things over the phone for years. But the key was, how long can you keep them on the phone? How long can you keep that conversation going? Same thing applies to social media. I don't even think they should call it social media. They should call it social engagement. If I post an ad on Facebook, I know exactly what I post every time. So whether it's a video, I memorize what I say. I know what the bullet points are. I know, because when they ask for extra information, usually I'll say, great, I would love to share information with you. What was it about the post that interests you the most? Before I send information, why did I do that? Because I want them to respond. Now I'm starting a conversation. What was it about my post that interested you the most? Oh, I don't know. It makes them think a little bit. Well, I like the fact that you talked about saving. Okay, great. What? And so they'll say, oh, saving. Okay, great. Can you elaborate a little bit? Or you could say, well, awesome. Okay, yeah, I'm glad you like to learn about savings. Do you realize what we're doing? We're able to save globally from all these thousands of different items. Would you like me to send you information on that? And sometimes I'll say, well, I want information on all of it, or I want information on that. But again, it's not that I'm just trying to, what I'm trying to do is keep the conversation going. Right? And then you can even ask them questions. Okay, great. Now this is a little different. What are some things you may have done in the past? What are some things that how did you find me? How did you just little nuggets. Boom, boom, boom. I'm just doing little touches. I'm just trying to start a conversation. This is a relationship business. Then I'll say, you know what? Okay, great. We go back and forth 2 or 3 times, 3 or 4 times, whatever it may be. Say, you know what? All right, here's the information. Here's all the information on the savings. When can you and I get together and talk about this? I am free in an hour. Do you have time to look at it right now? I'm free to answer your questions about this in 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Don't say, here's the information. Talk to you later. Get a commitment. Get something like that. Keep that conversation moving. Keep that conversation going. If you do that, your closing rate will increase. It will increase. You're starting to build a relationship. When you post ads online, if you're posting them on your general Facebook versus Facebook ads, those are 2 completely different things. We touch on those in the trainings, on our social media trainings, on that full training document in our file section. But it's social engagement. When you are putting something on your Facebook page, you're usually the best guys are the ones that ask questions and things. They're starting an engagement. They're starting a conversation. They're not selling their business. They're not putting r-Network's name out. They're not doing any of that. We have a lot of trainings on social media. I don't want to get into them today because for time's sakes, we got to wrap this up. But I hope this is making sense, because I'm telling you right now, the biggest money maker in network marketing, the biggest 2 are the events themselves and the power of the invite. Everything else, social media, everything, that takes second. That's the second. I mean, that's all secondary to this. This is your gold. This is your liquid gold right here. You master the invite, and I'm telling you, because you allow the closers to close, let them do what they do. And you can become a closer over time. That's fine. But first, perfect this. I never became a closer in sales until I became a master at inviting. Years ago, when I started out in sales, I used to send people to closers when I was younger. That's what I did for a long time. Then I developed into a closer. I didn't just wake up one morning, I'm a closer. Don't skip steps. Don't do it halfway. Master the invite and then progress to the next level and teach your team how to do the thing. Because if you master the art of the invite and share it with your team, you will be able to have success and build a strong team in our network. Rudy, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank everybody for being on this call. Remember, tonight, another call. This is a prospect call. So go skill up a little bit here. Go practice. Get some prospects on that. We'd love to see more prospects on every call every night than we had the night before, because that means you're out there. You're making the invites. Invite, perfect it. Build yourself a business. Everybody, God bless. We'll talk to you next time.